Give me one sec, guys. I have to set a couple more things up and then we're going to get started. But just as a precursor, today's stream, and I'm going to play a game at some point. I'll end this stream and start another one and do some gaming. But right now is just learning. So, today we're going to learn about noble privilege. That's what we're learning about. That's what we're doing. Again, it can't be all fun and games. You need to understand history. You need to understand why things are the way they are in our world. You can't just put your head in the sand and try to distract yourself 24/7. To do so is to forego your civic responsibility. If you do that, the elites control you. They control the world. You are made a literal slave within your own skin. Many of us are slaves within our own skins. Okay. So you see on the screen says nobility. What we're learning about today is noble privilege. I'm not sure if we're live on all the platforms right now. I'm not religious. No.
How we doing? Herb.
I'm gonna turn the text to chat off because we just don't need that right now. No silly comments. No, none of that shit. Listen and learn. If you're not interested, leave. We don't have time to fuck around, guys. We don't have time to fuck around. Okay.
How we doing? Spice God Dizzy. How we doing?
So the concept of noble privilege
How we doing?
is fairly simple. It speaks to
How we
the
doing? Unreal Postal.
sorry, there's some I just
How we
grabbed some
doing?
ice cream.
Young Losh.
It speaks to the privilege of nobility. It's exactly what it says. I'm gonna make things really simple, guys. In the past, when aristocracies existed, they still exist, but when they were more prolific, when they were everywhere around the world, the nobles, the aristocrats, would be exempted from particular laws and regulations.
How we doing?
One of those laws or regulations was just taxes.
Stacks Abbey.
A lot of the nobles did not have to pay taxes. In fact, none of them had to pay taxes. So if it was, let's say, the 1300s and you were from some noble family, whereas a merchant or a commoner might have to pay tribute to the monarch, you would be exempt from that. You get to keep all of your spoils. So you are exempt from taxes. That is a part. I'm going to lower the intros as well. That is a part of your noble privilege.
How we doing? Nathan Burns.
There were other noble privileges. There were a litany of privileges that the nobles received by their very birthright, is how they thought about it. We're going to go through this article and then I'll explain things as they come up. I'm also extremely hungry and I want to eat something before I get started. Nobility is a social class found in many societies that have an aristocracy or an aristocracy, apologies. It is normally appointed by and ranks immediately below royalty. Nobility has often been in a state of the realm with many exclusive functions and characteristics. The characteristics associated with nobility may constitute substantial advantages over or relative to non-nobles. Simply formal functions, precedence, and vary by country and by era. Memberships in the nobility, including rights and responsibilities, is typically hereditary. That means you're born into it, and paternal. You inherit it from your parents. Membership in the nobility has historically been granted by a monarch or government, and acquisition of sufficient power, wealth, ownership. Let's read that again. Membership in the nobility has historically been granted by the monarch or government, and acquisition of sufficient power, wealth, ownerships, or royal favor has occasionally enabled commoners to ascend into the nobility. What does that sound like, guys? What does that sound like? Okay, let's continue. There are often a variety of ranks within the noble class. Legal recognition of nobility has been much more common in monarchies, but nobility has existed in such regimes as the Dutch Republic, the Republic of Genoa, the Republic of Venice, and the old Swiss Confederacy. Remains part of the legal social structure of some small non-hereditary regimes. Example given, San Marino and Vatican City in Europe. In classical antiquity, the nobles of Roman Republic were families descended from the persons who had achieved the consulship. Those who belonged to the hereditary patrician families were nobles, but plebeians whose ancestors were consuls were also considered nobles. In the Roman Empire, the nobility were descendants from the Roman aristocracy, or the Republican aristocracy, while ancestry of contemporary noble families from ancient Roman nobility might technically be possible. No well-researched. Okay, that doesn't matter. All right, let's debrief what we just read. So what does it mean to be a noble? It means you have a power. You have power and privilege over everyone else in society, similar to that of a monarch. This gives you access to land. This gives you access to riches. This gives you access to the very life of the people within the nation state. Noble privilege can be more broadly thought of as all of the formal and informal advantages and privileges of those of the higher class. What we need to understand from a historical perspective and connect to the contemporary, connect to present day, is that this culture, this tradition of nobility never faded. It never went away. It's here right now. It's always been here. They simply call it different things. They simply changed the name. They changed the nomenclature. They changed what they call it. That is the only thing that changed. This dynamic never went away. We still have nobles that derive privilege from the sovereignty of the monarch or the government. In today's time, what that looks like are the ultra wealthy. They derive their power and privilege from the government. How? The government gives subsidies and other advantages to their enterprises. And in so doing, they allow these nobles to reap great fortunes and lord over the rest of the population. Okay, part of this noble privilege, and you'll see where I'm going with this, part of this noble privilege is exemption. I talk slow because you need to understand the things I'm saying. I'm not trying to be sensationalist, right? I'm not going to do Ben Shapiro's dumbass trick where he talks super fast so people think he's smart, but they don't really know anything he's saying and they can't even conceive of it. I'm talking slowly because it's imperative that you understand what I'm saying. I'm trying to teach, not to entertain you for clicks. Part of that noble privilege was exemption from laws that pertain to everyone else. Why does that matter? This understanding of noble privilege from a historical perspective makes more clear how we have such a thing as the Epstein situation. Now let's pivot to there. How do you have it then that these nobles, is what they are, We call them billionaires now, but they are nobles. They serve the same function and sit in the same hierarchical space as the nobles of old. They derive their wealth from the monarch or the government. We just call them billionaires now, but they are nobles, like the ones we see in this little graphic on the right.
JD Atu Chill.
They are bred and taught. They are taught since their inception that they are above the law, that they are above what sort of constrains common people. They are imbued with a sense of noble privilege.
How we doing? Dom Hockey.
The very systems in place uphold this privilege. Let's take the judicial system. The judicial system is completely based on wealth. It is entirely based on wealth. The more money you have, especially money that is well connected to other money, the more legal representation you get. The more you're able to sidestep rules, laws, and regulation.
How we doing, Gert?
It is exactly the same as the nobles of old.
How we doing?
They just changed the names. Now, okay, if you've been taught your entire life that you are above the laws, that you are special, that you deserve more than others, that you are in some way more deserving, that the rules don't pertain to you, and you have others around the world who are also taught this. Right? There's a global network of nobles, of these people who were raised and socialized into noble privilege. Taught that they are above the laws, taught that they are above morality, taught that regular folks' lives are in their hands to do with what they will. It comes as no surprise then when the story breaks that these people have been running a global elite child sex trafficking murder ring for God knows how long. It comes as no surprise. No one should be surprised about that. Why? Well, you see what they do publicly. You see what they do publicly. They commit atrocities around the world in the form of wars. They murder and pillage. They just do it with the government's backing as to legitimize it, they say.
How we doing?
They hide behind the authority of the government that they control. And they commit atrocities and human rights violations by policy. So that's what they do in the open. That's what they do in public. So it comes as no surprise then that in private, they're doing much worse. And how does a human being come to find themselves in this space? They're told their entire life that they are above the laws, they are above morality. They're imbued with noble privilege. They're exempt from taxes. The billionaires don't pay taxes. The rich do not pay taxes. Not like you and I do. They are exempt from laws and common regulation. They can commit whatever crime they so please and they will get off with it. They're unrestricted by the arbitrary rules that confine regular people's movements. They're free to travel the world as they please. This is noble privilege in the modern day. And just like the nobles of old that committed every manner of atrocity under the sun, the nobles in the common day commit every atrocity under the sun. They see it as their right to. They've been taught their entire lives that this is their right. That this is what they've been born into. They by virtue of existing as who they are, earn this. Guys, if you're just chiming in, we're talking about noble privilege. Thoughts on the halftime. I don't have any thoughts on the halftime. I don't think anyone should have thoughts on the halftime. I think it's a distraction. Sports. The last stream we discussed was about the function that sports serve in society. They serve to distract and placate the population.
How we doing?
So I didn't watch the Super Bowl, nor do I care about the halftime. I know a lot of people do. I know there's a lot of talk about it, and it's working like a charm, distracting from what matters. So guys, I think what's really important, and I think where I'm going to shift, is helping people understand statecraft. I think maybe a foundation there might make things a bit clearer. You need to understand how countries come to be, how states come to be, and what are the mechanisms and what are the pillars of states, of nation states, and who does that? Who forms a state? States don't just come to be on their own. America didn't just poof out of thin air. Someone created it. A group of people, a group of people created it. How does that happen? What goes into that? What does it look like? What are the ramifications of that? You need to understand statecraft if you're going to let go of all the ways you've been propagandized and socialized to serve the interests of those who control and have inherited the state.
How we doing? Vegan.
One sec, I gotta finish this real quick and we'll continue. Let me put some music on. The Zionists are part of this cabal that they control their state, they control Israel, they don't control America, they are in league with the white supremacists of America. The Jewish supremacists are in league with the white supremacists of the West. Yes. The Zionists are just the Jewish tinge of white supremacy.
How we doing, Lord of Beans?
Let me finish this real quick and we'll continue.
How we doing, JJ? How we doing, Sil Pound NT? How we doing, Dhoundoodoo?
Part of the statecraft, an essential part of the statecraft, is to control the population. That's an essential function of statecraft. If you are an elite,
how we doing?
You need to make sure your population is controlled and subdued. And we know the elites in our society do it very well. Our population is very controlled and subdued. You know how we know we're very controlled and subdued? Because news broke that they're raping, murdering, and eating children, and there has not been a revolution. We didn't all take up arms and started burning down their castles and skyscrapers. We said, okay, back to work.
How we doing?
That's statecraft.
How we doing?
That's statecraft. That didn't happen by accident.
Noah is going off. Noah is going off.
We all tuned in for the game. The function of distraction that sports serve played their part. They worked like a fucking charm. 126 million of us tuned in. Not 126 million of us hop into the streets. I'm eating pie with some vanilla ice cream.
How we doing? Jeffrey Big Stein Epstein.
126 million of us didn't take to the streets. 126 million of us tuned in to the distraction that they feed us to placate us and subdue us. And it works like a charm.
Noah is going off. Noah is going off.
BRB.
How we doing? HTTPS skeptical smiley face ZYARE.net. Noah is going off.
Couple of people have asked me to react to the Epstein files. I'm not gonna do it. I think that's sensationalism. I don't see any point in recounting the grim and gory details.
How are you doing? No limit JC.
What I will do is try to put into context what this means, from my perspective at least. But I'm not gonna go through and recount every horrible thing that happened so we can have our thrills about it. That's disgusting. I refuse to partake in that. This is not a game. It's not some reality TV. This is the life of real people who have had unspeakable things done to them. Unspeakable things done to them.
Ball is life.
Now, the people in charge won't release the names of the people who did that, and they claim is to protect the victims, except they redact the names of the perpetrators. They hide behind.
How we doing? Flasher.
Sentiments. They hide behind sentiments of the public good while they conduct themselves in ways that would make the devil blush. Again, what matters isn't the grim and gory details. It's not recounting every sick thing that they've done. Dana like Coach D?
How we doing? Lawrence.
Oh no. These guys are doing the Francis Ngannou trope. It's not to recount every gory detail. It's to talk about what it means. What it means.
How we doing?
What it means and what it requires of us. That's what matters. If you want the grim and gory details, guys, there are a ton of content creators right? That's what they do. They create content. I'm here to, what does it say on my page? Talk liberation to help you become fully human, to help you learn to become fully human. I'm not here to make content. There are a ton of content creators. They are reacting to the files. They are recounting every grim and gory thing. Go on YouTube. You'll find it, baby. You'll find it. And you can indulge in all of the debauchery with the rest of the population. Go ahead. I don't know what it's going to do for you. Make a spectacle and reality TV of these people suffering, of the living nightmare that they had to endure, that they're still enduring because it's still going on, because it hasn't stopped, because the people who perpetuated this are still out there doing it. They run the world. I will correct the narrative that I'm seeing sort of bud with coverage of this whole thing. So it's by no accident that this farce, this debacle, this atrocity has such a sort of compact and soundbitey name. The Epstein Files. The Epstein Files. Guys, it's the Epstein Files. It's the Epstein Files. It's Epstein. It's the Epstein Files. Have you seen the Epstein Files? Have we talked about the Epstein Files? React to the Epstein Files. That narrative, that name makes one think that, well, I mean, this is kind of over with, right? Like, the guy is dead. So now we're just sort of recounting what happened. Not so. Not so. Framing it as that, as what has been done, that framing is purposeful. They want you to think that it's all placed on this one person's head. The entire thing was constructed in that way for a reason. Guys, these people do not act on whims. I mean, yeah, they do, and they're impulsive, but they pay people to plan things for them to protect them. It's not an accident that this global sex trafficking murder ring is being called simply the Epstein Files. That's not an accident. That is a deliberate, that's deliberate narrative control. That's deliberate narrative control. They want you to think it was all this guy. It was all this guy, and we got him. We took care of him. It's done. It's over. Now, yeah, bit by bit, we can go through and recount what happened. Not so. Not so. Let me tell you, from everything that I've seen on this stuff, what makes the most sense as to who Epstein was and what this all is. It's so frustrating, man. It's so fucking frustrating. Okay.
How we doing?
From everything we've learned, from everything we've learned about, I'm gonna turn off the shout outs too, because I can't hear myself think.
How we doing? Black Sonic.
Every time somebody joins in, it says their name. Okay. What purpose did Epstein serve? What purpose did Epstein serve for these people? Because you need to understand, it wasn't one guy. It wasn't one guy. He played a role. He played a role. He was a hired hand. He was a hired hand. He wasn't some mastermind. He was an employee. He was an employee. He wasn't some mastermind. Well, it begs the question then, who was he employed by and to what end? Now we're talking. And turn these all off. I'll make it easier. Epstein was a liaison. That's all he was. He was a liaison. Epstein was a liaison. He was an enforcer. And he was the fall guy. That is who Epstein was. And he was deliberately made to be those things. Which is to say, they hired him to serve that purpose. That is the only logical conclusion for all of this. Everyone else talking about this stuff, they're fucking idiots and they don't care to help you better understand things. They want fucking clicks. They want sensationalism. That's why they're sifting through the files for all the juicy details and all the gore and all the nonsense. Epstein was a liaison for these people. He connected them with one another. He was an enforcer. He went and found the kids, connected with the different governmental institutions, spy institutions to get dirt, to make sure everyone stayed quiet that needed to stay quiet. And he was the fall guy, which is to say, when it came out, it would all be put on him. That's why he was at the center of it all. He was purposely placed in the center of it. It was structured in such a way that it all went through one person, such that when it came to light, all of the roads would lead to one person, making it easier to sell this narrative that it was this one person. Why, all the emails are directed to him. He was the one going out, grabbing the girls and talking to the different modeling agencies and governmental institutions to do the things. Yes, he was. That's what he was hired to do. That was the role and function that he played by design. So that if it ever came to light, he can take the fall to protect the rest of them at the top. I won't even say the rest of them, to protect the ones perpetrating it, benefiting from it. All he did was fulfill their sick desires. He found the girls for them. He connected them to this other sicko across the world. It is an international network of elite, of nobles. Back to my goddamn screen. This is why I put this up in the first place, because you need to understand what noble privilege is and how it's existed across history and societies, and what that means about how people conduct themselves, their psychology, how they learn to think about themselves in relation to everyone else, what they do, what they get away with. It's not to rummage through all the files and, oh, look, cannibalism, and oh, look this, oh, look that, so we can get some fucking sick thrill, gawking at people's fucking living nightmares. The fuck does that do for you? Epstein was the fall guy. He was the liaison. He was a hired hand for the global elite that see themselves as above laws. Why do they see themselves as above laws? Because they create the fucking laws to keep you in check, not to keep them in check. They create the laws to control you, not to control them, not to restrain them. They are above you. That's how they see themselves. That's why they have no qualms about murdering babies and eating them and raping them and dropping bombs on people across the world and committing every manner of atrocity under the sun. Because they see themselves as above you. And of course they do. They've created entire fucking nations. They play the game of statecraft. They don't play football. They don't play basketball. They don't give a fuck about these things. These things exist to distract you from the actual game going on, which is statecraft. How to control a population, to work to enrich yourself at the top of it. And they're all in on it together across the world. They only respect power and privilege. Everything they tell you about other nations and these other people is all to fucking distract you. They don't believe those things. You see the pictures and, oh my God, here's an American with a Saudi. I thought these like right-wing American guys hated the Muslims. They don't fucking hate the Muslims. They don't give a fuck about that. They want you to. They want you to keep you fucking distracted and stupid. And it works. Everything you fucking believe has been crafted to manipulate you, and it works. You can't begin to think outside of it. And it's all to protect their privilege and power. You're but fodder in their hands. And the whole while they reap billions of dollars, commit atrocities around the world, murder by design on mass scales, they tell you, look at that other poor person. The topic is noble privilege. Look at that poor person. Look at that immigrant. Look at those spics, those niggers, those sand niggers, those women, those things, those gays, those trans, those every fucking thing. They stoke prejudice and hatred within you. You can't even fucking think straight. And all the while, you're in survival mode because you're starved. You're starved from human connection. You're starved for humanity. You're starved for basic sustenance. You're constantly in survival and being fed propaganda and hate to keep you traumatized and panicked at all times. You can't even think about the future because you have to focus in the now. Because if you don't, you won't fucking be able to eat. And they dangle things in your faces. Oh, look at this Ferrari. Look at this big house. Look at this. Don't you want to be like me? Don't you want to be like us? Don't you want to be like the nobles? It's a fucking game that they play with your lives, with our lives. It's called Statecraft. There's a fucking name for it. And you get people in here. You get people in here who cannot begin to even like place themselves in space to be able to conceive of it. I mean, just look at the comments. Just look at the comments. This is the work of it. It's to stupefy you. It's to stupefy you. And it works like a fucking charm. You cannot for a second pause to consider the state of your life, to consider why you act the way you do, why you think the way you do. How did that come to be? They stupefy you. Look no further than the very fucking platform that we're on. Scroll past the stream. You'll see all manner of fucking nonsense. All manner of idiocracy. Regurgitating the same tired stereotypes and prejudices and isms about this group or that group, these people and those people, and how we're so better, I'm so better. By fucking design, to keep you distracted and dumb while they rape, pillage, and murder with impunity. No repercussions. No justice. The laws exist for you, not them, to control you. Who is they? Who is them? The people who run the world, the rich and powerful. That's it. That's it. It's that simple. The ones who are fucking the kids on the files, in the videos, in the pictures, those people. They're of every color, every race, every ethnicity, every gender. You know why? Because those things don't fucking matter. It's about power and wealth. And they have it, you don't. They control you. They create these categories and imbue you with separatist ideologies to fucking control you. I'm an American. I'm a Canadian. I'm a Mexican. I am this. I'm that. I'm this thing. I'm that thing. I'm whatever the fuck they had in place for me. And I come and I pick it up and I say, I put this hat on that they give me. I'm this thing now. And I'm so different from that other person because they are red and I'm blue. It's fucking idiotic. It's insane. It's insane, and you hold on to it with such fucking fervor because you know nothing else. You cannot conceive of anything else. You've been stripped of your senses. And even when it all comes to light, all you want to do is gawk at it. Oh, did you see the next thing that came out in the files? Oh, it's so juicy. Oh, did you see the next thing? Oh my God, I can't believe they're doing that. It's like reality fucking TV. You've been fucking primed to do it. You've been fucking primed to react this way. Everything is a game. Everything is entertainment. Excite me. Give me a spectacle. Play the game. Laugh. Do something. Keep me entertained. Keep me fucking stupid. Make the hurt stop. I feel empty. I don't know anything. I don't understand anything. Fill this empty void that is my fucking soul. And look at the comments. Exactly what I'm talking about. And then you have the religious folks. God will save us. God will save us. As though that's not another fucking tool of statecraft. As though you haven't been primed and indoctrinated to believe that since you were fucking born. As though that doesn't also placate you. Who benefits from you thinking you should just fucking sit around and do nothing and some imaginary being is gonna come fix it all? The people who fucking benefit from the system. It's great for them if you don't do anything. If you just think some magical being is gonna come fucking fix it for you. Guess what that does? It keeps everything exactly the way it fucking is. God will fix it. Just believe. Just believe and it'll magically change and disappear. Yes, you keep fucking thinking that, you fucking idiot. Keep thinking that you're putty in the palm of my hands. Sit there, get on your knees, and pray to your fucking non-existent God while I murder, rape, pillage, exploit you for every fucking thing you own. For everything you are. It's another tool of statecraft. They don't teach you this stuff. Why? Because it doesn't serve them. If you fucking knew it was going on, it wouldn't work. What does serve them is you turn on your TV. Ah, look at those people. Look at those women shaking their asses. Look at those men who can't even bench. Look at those brown people over there with the wraps around their heads. Look at these frivolous, trite, insignificant, fucking bullshit things. It's the only thing you feel is worth discussing. You can't even fucking place yourself in space. You know nothing. You understand nothing. You simply absorb what they fucking feed you. And even when the worst of it comes out, it's not even the worst of it. We all gawk. Oh my God. Oh my God, look at this. Look at this. All right, let's get back to work. Let's turn on the fucking TV again and see the shit they got for us next. Imagine right now, let's say you're like 8, 10 years old, and I presented to you a scenario that said, we will be at a point in life where news will break that all the most powerful people in the world, the owners of industry, the CEOs, the shareholders, the financiers, the government officials, news will break that they're committing the worst atrocities known to man privately, because we already know they fucking do it publicly when they murder everyone under the sun in these fucking wars. But we've gotten used to that. That's okay. Imagine I described for you this situation and you would say, well, I mean, the whole world shuts down, right? It's anarchy, it's revolution. No, everyone fucking continues like nothing happened, because statecraft works. It keeps people obedient, passive, starved. How do we know it does? Because we're fucking living it. We're living it. And nothing will change until you get that into your fucking head, until you realize it, until you accept it. Some of you refuse because it's too scary, because you've also been indoctrinated and primed to be a fucking coward. You refuse to face what's in front of your face because it's scary, because you do not have the fortitude to withstand reality. You would rather myths and legends and wise tales about those bad people over there and our lords and saviors who are going to come save us and rule over us and tell us what to do, show us the way. Where's the next Messiah? They stupefy you. Look no further than the very fucking comments. Look no further. Look no further. Dude is just saying shit. You can't make sense of what I'm saying. You don't have the mental tools. The schools didn't provide you with it. You don't know how to think. I'm not saying that to make you feel bad about yourself. You don't know how to think. You literally do not know how to think. You do not have the tools for critical thought. You don't know what it looks like. If you did, you would be following and also, it's fucking simple. It's simple. But you don't have the tools. And it's so sad. It's so sad. And the amount of work it's gonna take. And this is all I can do. I can just sit here and fucking talk about it. I don't have power. I don't have privilege. I'm not one of them. But I'm trying to wake you the fuck up, because it's bad out there. It's bad. It's been bad. I need you to care. I need you to care. All those fucking people who were murdered and killed and raped, and those babies, they need you to fucking care. They need you to care. They need you to care more about that than the fucking Super Bowl. They need you to care more about that than who fucking catches the pigskin. They need you to care more about that than the fucking texture of my hair. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Stupefied. Don't know how to think. Don't know how to place yourself in space. Confused. Starved. Constantly in survival mode and traumatized. And you refuse to see it. You refuse. And the worst part of it is not even your fault. That's the worst part. It's not even your fault. You don't have a fucking choice. You never stood a chance. You've been conditioned to be this way your entire life. And I'm not special. I'm not special. The only reason it didn't sink in with me as much as most other people is because I didn't have a linear socialization. They blew up my fucking country. And so I never had any time to be socialized in any one space. We had to keep moving around the world to survive. So none of the fucking programming sunk in. That's the only reason. And then I went to study it and try to place it in context. If I was born in a country that wasn't fucking bombed and I didn't have to move everywhere around the world just to survive, I would also be eating up all the same shit and repeating all the same shit, concerned with who catches the pigskin, with what my fucking hair looks like, with who's the next pretty girl, with, oh my God, look at the atrocities they fucking did in the papers. Let's all gawk at it. Fuck the children who were raped, murdered, and fucking feasted upon. Let's make sensationalism of their torture, of their lived nightmare. We're not going to talk about what we need to do about it yet, because so many of you still don't fucking understand that you need to care. Even if you feel like you can't do anything about it, to not care as a result of that is cowardice. And it ensures that it continues. Because why the fuck would they stop? Why would they stop? Who's going to stop them? Why would they stop? Why would they stop? Why would they stop? Why? Why would they stop? If we all fucking move on, why would they stop? They're doing damage control. That's what all of this is right now. Is damage control. The way they're releasing the files, the redactions, is damage control. It's all a strategy. They bombard you with information that's decontextualized. You can't wrap your head around it. They take out critical pieces of information so that you can't contextualize it. You can't put it in any sort of chronology. They point it all to one person. It's this guy. It's Epstein. Look, it's this disgusting person. Oh, he's a creep. Yeah, look at this guy. He was a fucking employee. Yeah, he was a billionaire. Because they paid him a lot of money to do what he did for them. He was an employee. He was a fucking employee. He simply served a role for them. We can't even talk about it. We can't even talk about it. Everyone wants to be the next jokester, the next clown, the next jester. Everyone's got a witty comment. The worst things imaginable, we're well aware, is reality. And how do we respond? Well, I got a nice joke set up. Yeah. Oh, I have a witty remark ready to go. Look, I typed it. Somebody saw it. They reacted. Look at yourself. Think about what you're doing, why you're doing it. You know the stupefying works like a charm. You know it's done exactly what it's supposed to do because there's indisputable evidence. Not just from the files, like literally, guys, you can Google statecraft. Oh God. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. Uh, oh, God damn it, man. Oh. Okay. Let's look up what statecraft means. It's gonna be hard for some of you to see. Okay. The word statecraft, dating from the 1640s, refers to the art of conducting public affairs, which entails leading a state or country. Statecraft is thus said to be the practice of a statesman, stateswoman, or statesperson. But in a narrow form may also be synonymous with public diplomacy. Beyond the superficial level, however, finding the exact definition of statecraft is difficult. The ancient Greek philosopher Plato conceived of the statesman in his dialogue of the same name as one who oversees and guides the work of many others. There is an art which controls all these arts. It is concerned with the laws and with all that belongs to the life of the community. It weaves all into its unified fabric with perfect skill. Let's read that again. They've been describing, oh God, why do I try? Okay. They've been describing what this is, this game, this art, this craft, since the ancient times, because states have been around for a very long time. And so the art, the game of running a state has been being improved for a very long time. A lot of great thinkers have thought about it and written down their thoughts. They've postulated about it. They've done all the things. Let's read this excerpt again. There is an art which controls all the arts, which is to say, there's a sort of methodology that oversees everything else. They're talking about statecraft. It's the game of all games. It's what conducts everything else. Okay, guys? It's not fucking conspiracy. They write about it. They write about it. Like, But you don't know anything. And you don't even know when to listen. You don't even know when to fucking turn your ears on. That's how bad it is. I'll just finish the excerpt. There is an art which controls all these arts. It is concerned with the laws and with all that belongs to the life of the community. With all that belongs to the life of the community, it weaves all into its unified fabric with perfect skill. It is a universal art, and so we call it by a name of universal scope. That name is one which I believe to belong to this art and to this one alone. The name of statesmanship. God. The fucking article is there. You can read it. You can find the references. You can do whatever, man. I don't know. Okay. So, Statecraft exists. I don't know who said I'm talking BS. More power to you, brother. Whatever. I'm just gonna talk about what I've studied, what I've lived, what I know. You can decide if you want to listen. I can't make you listen. I can't think for you. I can't think for you. I can bring up things for you to consider in hopes that you recognize some patterns to improve your thinking, but that's all I can do. The rest is up to you. Okay. The tool, and it is a tool, the process of creating a nation state, of creating a country, is called statecraft. It's a procedure that people do. Nations, countries don't just pop out of thin air. They are created deliberately by people. How does that happen? What goes into making it happen? What are the outcomes? What's the process? What does it look like? Ask yourself these things. Now that I'm not screaming at the top of my lungs, saying whatever else, people are losing interest. They're like, oh my God, it's not, it's less sensational now. It's less sensational. I'm not going to stop trying, chat, but I'm not going to lie to you, man. It's not easy. It's not easy. Plato, I'll bring him up because he was in this article we just looked at. He talks about this phenomenon. What happens when you understand something, right? It's okay. I'll just talk about the actual way he described it. So if some of you are not familiar with Plato's allegory of the cave, this is how it goes. So basically, it's a thought exercise. It says, imagine there are these three guys. They're in a cave. They've always been in that cave. The cave is all they know. Now, try and conceive of what this entails, right? Think about human beings and how we learn about the world and life. And if you were always in a cave, if you've only ever been in the cave, you've never even heard of anything outside of the cave, you won't be able to conceive of anything outside of the cave. The cave is all you know. The cave is your life. The cave is the fucking universe. Okay. There are these three guys in a cave. Not only are they in a cave, they are shackled. Their arms and their legs are bound. They can't move. They can't move. So they're in a dark cave and they can't move. And they've been in that state their entire life. Okay. They are staring at a wall. How did they get there? Good question, but it's not very relevant for the thought exercise. They're bound. They're in this cave. They're staring at a wall. They cannot move. They have to stare at the wall. Their necks are also bound. They have to stare at the wall. Behind them, it's not relevant. Again, you don't know how to think, so you think it's relevant. Whatever. I'm going to stop paying attention to nonsense. It's relevant if you think about it as how the allegory relates to society, but in the scope of the allegory itself, it's not relevant. Okay, move on. Behind these people is a flame. And the flame, no, they didn't. They didn't. Let me fucking finish. Listen. Do the listening first. Do the listening. You guys are bad in school. Sound like a teacher. I was a teacher. I gave that up because the education system is fucking terrible. Okay. Behind them is a flame. And there are people behind them doing shadow puppets. And so the people bound think reality is the shadow puppets. They only know the shadow puppets because that's the only thing they've ever seen. Again, remember, they've never been outside of the cave. They cannot move. They can only see the wall in front of them. And these shadows dance across the wall constantly, every day, every time. Just these shadows on the wall. They think the shadows on the wall is reality because that's all they've ever known. Mind you, this is an allegory. All that means is it's a comparison. It's a comparison turned into a story. Which begs the question, what's it comparing to? It's comparing it to society. Okay? You are the people. We are the people bound in the cave. We are the people bound in the cave, shackled, staring at the wall, gawking at shadow puppets. That's us. The people, now we're getting to your fucking question, if you will shut the fuck up and listen. The people who bounded them to stare at the wall and are doing the shadow puppets, they are the conductors of statecraft. They are the grand manipulators. They are the elites. They control the very fabric of society. They control the body politic. Politics is society. It's everything you fucking know. And it's not objective. It's crafted to manipulate you. Even if you don't pay attention to it, you're still manipulated by it. You cannot hope to escape it. Just like the people bound in the cave. They cannot hope to escape it. But the allegory continues. One of the three is able to slip out of his confines, of his shackles, and crawls up out of the cave and sees the sun. And at first the sun is blinding, so much so that he cannot conceive of what he's looking at. He's terrified, bewildered, stunned, because he's never seen light before. He's always been in a cave. The only source of light was the flame at his back. But after a while, his eyes begin to adjust. Her eyes begin to adjust. They start to see the world for what it is for the first time ever. They see trees, cows, livestock, birds, houses. They see the world for the first time for what it is. And they know everything they've ever fucking known has been a lie. Well, Plato asks us, what does this person then do? Do they continue on and try to discover this new world? Leave their old life behind that they've come to know now has all been a lie? Or do they go back to the others still shackled in the cave to explain to them what they've seen? To describe the majesty of the sun and nature and the world? Well, in Plato's allegory, this person goes back into the cave. And again, as they go back, now their eyes are used to the sun. They can't see in the cave anymore. They can't see. It's too dark for them. They're now used to the light. They can no longer see. They stumble, they fall. They eventually make their way back to their old companions. Their eyes again begin to adjust. They say, nothing we've ever known is true. There's an entire world out there that you wouldn't believe. Do you think those people still shackled in the cave believe that person who came back from the surface? Do you think they believe them when they communicate to them that everything they've ever fucking known is a lie? No, they don't. They don't believe the person who left the cave. This allegory is thousands of years old. It's thousands of years old, but it's so relevant. Why? Because statecraft has been around for all of human fucking history. It's not a new phenomenon. It's a game people have been playing since human beings have walked the fucking earth. You are the person shackled in the cave. We are the people shackled in the cave. You can never hope to escape the cave and see the world for what it is if you cannot let go of the shadow puppets. Cannot let go of your shackles. And the shackles is every single separatist ideology. It's sexism, it's racism, it's homophobia, it's transphobia, it's classism, it's nationalism, it's ageism, it's ableism, it's cowardice, it's hate, it's prejudice, it's hubris, it's pride, it's vanity. It's sycophancy. I've glimpsed outside the cave. As I said, I did not have a proper socialization. Most people are born into a country, into a state, right? A state is just a giant enterprise of manipulation, as we understand now because of statecraft and what that entails. Most people are born into a society. They're socialized through that society, through their entire life, by the school system, by the norms, the culture, the rules, the regulations, all of it. I did not have that the same way as other people. Why? Because they fucking bombed the country I was born in and we had to move around. So there was no point in which I was socialized by mass groups of people because that wasn't an option. We had to flee and keep moving. My very concept of reality for most of my childhood was fear, death, and destruction. And so the socialism never quite set in, or the socialization, the indoctrination never quite set in because I wasn't anywhere long enough for it to happen. The shackles never took hold because I wasn't in one place. And there was not enough structure for it to do so. You can't have structure in a war zone. You can't have structure when you're bouncing from refugee camp to refugee camp. That doesn't give space for socialization to completely take root. Of course, some of it did take root. That's why I consider myself as also part of the cave. If you want to answer to that question. But really what it is that I fucking learned. I went to school to understand it. I studied sociology. What is sociology, guys? Sociology is the study of society. What is society? The state. It's the study of fucking statecraft. Because I realized that's the most important fucking thing. How did I know that at a young age? Because I lived in 3 different countries. I've seen really fucking rich people, really fucking poor people. And when you're 6 years old and you see abject poverty and death and destruction and see great wealth and opulence, your fucking 6-year-old mind wonders, why is it like this? Why is it like this? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Why is it like this? Why is it that there are so many rich people and so many poor people? Why is it that everyone is walking by this person who's starving in the fucking dirt? Why is it that we're all ignoring their pain and suffering? Why is it that there's this big ass building over here that seems empty and this person is sleeping in the street and no one seems to give a fuck? The tool is called statecraft. It's what they use to create nations. Part of that is to subdue and control the population. They distract. They stoke animosity, prejudice. It's a basic sleight of hand. I'm jingling keys over here and say, look here, look here, look here, look here, look here. Doing everything to get your attention over here. Everything to get your attention over here. Everything under the sun, the constant news cycle. Fear, hate, prejudice, everything over here. Look here, look here, look here. Don't look over there. Don't look over there. Don't look over there where we're raping and murdering the children. Don't look over there where we're lying about everything under the sun. Don't look over there where we're keeping you poor and destitute and stupid. Don't look over there. Man said, I'ma look. I hope you look. That's my goal. My goal is to get you to look. But you can't make sense of what you're seeing if you don't know how to think. And if you don't know how to place it, if you don't know how to think, you won't know how to place it into proper context. You need to know how to think to make sense of what you're looking at. It doesn't seem like it. And like, I know you're going to take that as an insult, but it doesn't seem like it. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm really not, but I have to be honest with you. I'm not here to make you feel good either. It doesn't seem like it. The things you've been saying, communicate as much. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings. That's not what I'm trying to do. And I honestly mean that. I'm not trying to be like some tough guy asshole. I'm not trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm so smart. No. But it doesn't seem like you know how to think. I'm going to turn back on the comments.
How we doing? Kool-Aids. How we doing? Dabron James. How we doing? Brighton.
We got to try, chat. We got to try. We're all we've got, man.
How we doing? Bear.
Who's going to look out for those kids if we don't? Who's going to care about their suffering if we don't? We can't make spectacle of it. These are people's lives. They had hopes. They had dreams. Instead, they were made tools for the sick pleasure of the nobles. We have to care. We have to try.
How we doing? How we doing? Hayden W. How we doing? Cam C.
That's the lesson for today, guys. I hope you fucking learned something. I hope somebody learned something. Even though every facet of your being tells you to resist learning.
How we doing? JD.
I hope someone learned something. And I know there's probably someone out there who learned something.
MJ2K says start the lesson. User.
MJ, we already did the lesson.
How we doing?
We already did the lesson. You know what? Actually, I'm going to end this stream, guys, and I'm going to start a new one because I want this VOD to be separate from the rest of the streams so that if somebody wants to just see that part, they can see it. So I'm going to end the VOD. I'm going to end the stream. If you want to... MJ, if you want to see the lesson...
Bay Harbor Gooner says NGLI forgot everything he said during this stream. How we doing? Wyatt Bookout says Zion. How we doing? Ian.cfc.
I'm regretting I turned the text to chat back on, honestly. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to end the VOD. You guys can go to Spotify. I won't end the TikTok because TikTok doesn't matter. You can't watch TikTok VODs, so I'm not going to end... Appreciate you, Jacoby. You too. I'm not going to end the TikTok, but I'm going to end the. I'm going to end the.
Micah took you that long to clap back with that, Mr. France.
I'm going to end the other ones.
Palm up hand. How we doing, Overseer? How we doing? What am I doing? Micah says at Favo, no, I am working RN. How we doing? Spiritual Ski says, bro, go win my parlay wide. How we doing? SX.
Check out my video about parlays. Stop betting, dude.
How we doing? You have Papa Charlie's bruv, you walking.